Bam Margera's official Instagram. I mean, this is Bam Margera's name on the account, but Johnny's holding the phone. Is Bam too stupid to hold a phone? He can't update his own audience. It ain't Johnny's audience. Or is it? Because just the day before that, there was Element Heart Supply skateboards for sale on that Instagram account. Do you see how it's kind of like a conflict of interest? I don't know. That's just my opinion. Comment below what you think.
I don't get no days off, truly I'm feeling it. I had to say that thing twice.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I literally cannot get a day off around here. Yesterday was Sunday. I'm doing my meal prep, trying to be a healthier, happier me, not feel like crap all the time. And of course, 15,742 things break off with the Bam Margera saga. So let's do a concise update, wrap it in a bow, put it all in this video. And of course, I will continue to keep y'all updated as I find out more information. So where we left off, the last video that I made about this on the channel, I think it was actually my last video, we were talking about TMZ reporting that Bam Margera was in the hospital with pneumonia with C19 on a ventilator. A lot of y'all had a lot to say in the comment section down below. Y'all had a lot to say on Instagram. Y'all had a lot to say apparently in forums I've never heard of. And I was able to put together a few more pieces of information based on your feedback. Not only that, a couple more newsworthy things did occur, which of course TMZ did not report on. So we're going to report on it here today. Now, I know a lot of y'all are like, why do you pay so much attention to TMZ? They're fake news. They're just a tabloid. You're right. They are fake news. They are just a tabloid. The problem, as I mentioned in my last video, is that other real news sources cite TMZ as a news source, and then it gets disseminated into the public and stored in the public consciousness as the truth. So it is actually very dangerous what TMZ does whenever they put stories out that are not true. Now, we have seen that happen. A lot of times they don't even go back and correct themselves. They just move on like it never happened. And I don't really like that. I agree with you. I do not like TMZ. I do not like what they do. They are a tabloid. They do not always tell the truth. The problem is other news sources cite them, and then you end up with like 25 pages of Google results of articles that cite TMZ as an initial source, even when TMZ is just a tabloid. Do you see what I'm saying? If you don't understand that, get off my channel because you're probably not going to get anything else that I'm going to talk about. You know what I mean? So the last thing we were talking about is that TMZ was reporting that Bam was on a ventilator. He had C19. He had pneumonia. All of that was going on. He was in intensive care. In the time during which I was preparing my last video, I was recording it and editing it and uploading it and stuff, some more things happened on Nikki Margera's brother's Instagram account. Bless his heart, girl, because he cannot get his story straight. So as I mentioned in my last video, he does have my ThatSurpriseWitness account seemingly blocked from being able to view his stories. I did have to log into an alternative Instagram account, one that I share with Prim, my fiance, in order to see Warren Boyd's stories. That's Nikki's brother. In order to see his stories, I had to log into a different Instagram account. So it seemed to me like maybe he did not want that surprise witness, me, to see his Instagram stories, but I did see them. And it seems like after he realized that I saw them and other people were spreading around his post, he kind of, in my opinion, started to backtrack off of the story. Now, just to remind you, what he had said in the story that I reported on in the last video was that everything you're about to read on TMZ is a effing lie. Okay. So we start saying, look, okay, that must mean that this ventilator story is a lie. That must mean that this C19 story is a lie. Well, then he goes ahead. Let me pull it up right here. I'm going to put it up on the screen for y'all. But then he goes ahead and puts up some nonsense about, he was talking about the Backstreet Boys. Hold on, let me get the picture up. Something about Nick Carter, the Backstreet Boy, and says such a lie. So he's talking about such a lie. You're getting your Backstreet Christmas. Again, while this was going on, I was recording my last video, so I wasn't really up to date on this as it was happening. But thankfully, someone got this screenshot for me and sent it to me. People were like, okay, now this is confusing. Was he talking about the Backstreet Boys? Was he talking about Nick Carter? And I just feel like it was a backtrack. That's just my opinion. I really don't know. But the plot thickens. After that Backstreet Boys story, he deletes it. It seems like within 30 to 45 minutes, that Backstreet Boys Nick Carter lie story post was deleted. And then he went ahead and posted something else. Then he posted, I'm talking about Anthony Lamb. Don't get it twisted. And again, it's like, girl, pick a dang story and stick to it. If you're gonna lie, just say a story. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he's lying, but I am saying it looks like he was trying to do a little bit of PR damage control in the situation. Talking about, let me put it up here on the screen. Everything you're about to read on TMZ is a effing lie. Then a little while later is Nick Carter, Backstreet Boys, such a lie. And then a little while later after that, that's deleted. And now he's talking about Anthony Lamb. So who knows what in the hell this man is talking about? Maybe he was trolling the whole time. Maybe he was bad. I really don't know. That could have been a whole own video on its own. But then all kind of other stuff popped off. So after that, we're all kind of talking about it online and we're saying, like, listen, what's really going on? People in the medical profession, nurses and people who work in hospitals were saying, wait a second, it doesn't make sense that he's on a ventilator because that's not even protocol for C19 anymore. It's not even something we do anymore. Now, listen, I'm not a medical professional. I do not know. I'm just taking y'all's word for it. Comment down below if you are a medical professional, and I would like to pin your comment. But it just seemed like a bunch of conflicting information was going on. I do want to pull up my Instagram account because there was a few other pieces of information that happened along that time that I think are material. Now, some people on Instagram, bless their hearts, do not have the ability to use common sense, and they do not have the ability to look at the entire context of a situation. People think that if I post something, I'm saying it's true. They don't read the captions. They don't piece together how it fits in the big picture of things. And for the most part, when those people show up on my Instagram account, I block them because I don't have the capacity to tolerate and deal with stupid people. There's places on the internet y'all can go. It's just not going to be in my personal space. I like to consider my Instagram account kind of like a queen's court. You know, like when people come back in the olden days to like ask the queen for something or tell her something, it's like you need to know how to act in the queen's court. And if you don't, you get off with your head. You know what I mean? You got to go. And my version of off with your head is you get blocked. I don't need to see what you're saying because you're stupid and you don't know how to act. So a lot of that was going on Instagram. And I'm sure some of it will be going on in these comments. And for y'all, your comments will be deleted and you'll be kicked out of the queen's court because that is what I am. I am a queen and you are a peasant who is not smart enough to know how to act. A lot of y'all do know how to act. Y'all are in the comments and you're using inductive reasoning and critical thinking and logic and putting clues together like you're supposed to do in an investigation. And some people would just rather just take the mainstream narrative. They would rather take the tabloid narrative. They would rather take the narrative of people who have conflicts of interest, take it for what it is and not look any deeper. This is not the place for you if you're that type of person. No offense, full offense, whatever, however you want to take it. So I'm going to pull up my Instagram account right now and show y'all a couple more pieces of information that did develop over those elapsing hours after this whole Backstreet Boy Anthony Lamb. Like, I don't really know what that was all about. So let's see what was going on here. And we'll read the captions of what I was learning as y'all were sending me more small kernels of information from various sources. So here is my Instagram account. Okay, so as you can see, I did post this, right? And I said, looks like someone can't get their story straight as to who or what TMZ is lying about. Nick Carter's story is now deleted. So there was this Nick Carter one. We just went over that, the Anthony Lamb thing. Then someone brought it to my attention that a user on a site called, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say it here, but y'all can put it together what you think, you know, that site is. Someone told me, independent fact checker said, someone said on this website 4 days ago that this was the case. And now the news breaks today. This is all super sketchy. I pray for his safety, but I think some people want to unalive our boy. Okay. So that was just a tip I got. I'm not co-signing this. I'm not saying it's true. As you can see, my response was, could you get a screenshot of the comment? My replies keep getting deleted. And I think it's because of this particular website. Now, I got to be honest with y'all, I did not know anything about this website. It's kind of like this website, if you're not familiar, it seems to be sort of like a more deranged version of Reddit. So it's just unsubstantiated. I have to be so careful of what I talk about on YouTube and what I say. But this particular website seems to basically allow a free-for-all of people to say any and everything they damn want to, which, listen, we can get into the philosophical discussion and debate on how much content should be moderated online, but I think it is clear that we have reached a point of too much moderation, at least on websites like the one we're on right now, et cetera, et cetera. But people were taking me as if I was saying, everyone rush over to this website and participate in it. I just want to be very clear. Don't do that. Do not do that, because the very limited moments I spent on this website was traumatizing, and I'm never going to be the same after it. Like, I don't want, it's like the Wild West of the internet over there. Enter that website at your own risk. I am aware that there on that website, there's different forums. Again, it's kind of like Reddit, but it's not as heavily moderated as Reddit, which Reddit ain't that heavily moderated, but you know what I mean. It's sort of like just a forum where people talk about stuff. I think that it's a place where a lot of unpopular opinions are shared, a lot of hatred, a lot of all that. I want to get into all that. I'm not telling y'all to go to the website. I am just showing y'all, because I'm an investigative journalist, how the investigation goes. And I know that I do this differently than anyone in the world has ever done it before. So I think it confuses some of y'all. I'm showing y'all the pieces of information that I'm gathering together. So with all that, in my opinion, frankly, unnecessary disclaimer, but I guess it is necessary because people don't know how to damn act in the Queen's courts. This is what my caption said. Apparently, a user on that website reported Bam being in critical condition with pneumonia 3 to 4 days ago. But when I click on the link, the post was gone. Not sure what to make of it, since I've literally in my life never been on this site. So maybe it's common, or maybe I'm doing something wrong. Just keeping y'all updated as I learn more info. Okay. So that was the purpose of this post. And as you can see, I left it up. So I'm not sorry I put it up. But as you can see, look, when I clicked on it, it was 3 days ago at the time of the TMZ article. And look, 404 not found. So it was gone 3 or 4 days after some random person on the internet was saying Bam is in critical condition. Someone did, thank you very much to the person who did show me how to recover and unarchive this post. Thank you very much. I did see the comments on the post, and a lot of people are being very horrible. Listen, I'm telling you, don't go to this website if you are sensitive like I am, because it is a scary place. It is a scary place. People are mean, people are heartless, and it really reminds me like how depraved some human beings can actually get, and it's really just sad. But look, okay, so then of course, because TMZ was reporting that Bam was on a ventilator, which now, as of December 12th, 2022, I don't believe Bam Margera was ever on a ventilator. I just don't believe he ever was. I think he might have been on oxygen, but I don't think he was on a ventilator based on things that people have told me. But this is just my belief. I'm not a medical expert. I don't have any medical opinions. And if you want to believe he was on a ventilator, you can please go ahead and do that. That's just my opinion. But since TMZ was reporting that Bam Margera was on a ventilator, and since I know that if you're not completely incapacitated, you have to sign a consent form to be put on a ventilator, I just start wondering the following. Can't help but wonder who signed the consent forms to put Bam on a ventilator. Was it him or a medical proxy? If the latter, who could that be? Now, I do want to start this off by disclaiming it's possible that Bam was completely unconscious and out of it whenever he was put on this alleged ventilator, if that actually happened, right? So if he was put on a ventilator, it is totally possible he was not in his right mind to consent to being put on a ventilator. And the doctor would have the implied consent to go ahead and put him on that. Again, I don't really think he was put on a ventilator. I really don't. But let's say he was, because that's what TMZ was reporting. Even though his brother-in-law said everything was a lie that TMZ was reporting, let's pretend TMZ was right for whatever reason. He was on a ventilator. If he was incapacitated, probably the doctor just had the implied consent to put him on a ventilator. But if he was alive and well, who signed for him to be on this ventilator? And that's what I'm wondering here, because again, what I'm doing right now is just putting together pieces of information. I'm telling y'all right now, just to be explicitly clear, abundance of caution, abundantly clear. I do not know what the truth is. I do not know what happened. I do not know. All I know is what I'm showing y'all. And then y'all can take this information, piece it all together, use your common sense and use your intuition and use all the pieces of evidence to try and make a little bit of informed opinion of your own. Don't take my opinion as your own. Make your own opinion based on the evidence and the facts and the pieces of information that I'm showing you. I've been accused lately of trying to make people believe my opinion. I don't want y'all to believe my opinion. I do not. I just want you to look at what's available in the public and make your own opinion. And I'm kind of a little repository for showing you what's available in the public. You want to believe he was on a ventilator? That's fine. I'm not mad at that. I don't think he was, but we can disagree on stuff. You want to believe he consented to his own going on a ventilator? That's okay. You're allowed to do that based on looking at all the evidence, but look at all the evidence. There's nothing to take my word for. Go look at the stuff yourself. I just found it on the internet. I couldn't help but remember that Bam Margera did have a medical proxy. And she was called different things. But look, as of June this year, Lima Yevremovich was telling police officers in Broward County that she was Bam Margera's medical proxy. And she was in the process of putting Bam in a new treatment facility. So again, I don't know what the facts are, but I do know that this police report refers to Lima as Bam's medical proxy. She has reported that she has a demonstrated public history of successful case management for high-profile treatment-resistant patients. And here, a month earlier, she was calling herself Margera's health surrogate. Okay, so all I'm showing y'all this for is to remind you that someone, Lima Yevremovich, at some point had medical proxy and healthcare surrogate powers over Bam Margera. That would presumably mean, I don't know, I wasn't there, I really don't know, but I'm just speculating, and you're allowed to disagree or agree, that it's possible someone else besides Bam Margera has the right or had the right in the past to sign consent forms to certain treatments that Bam didn't have legal authority to agree to himself. But all of this was going on while I was still being told by TMZ that Bam was on a ventilator. But listen, one whole day goes by and 57,242 things go on. So it doesn't end here. We have a little bit more to get through. And I'm just kind of walking y'all through the investigation process of what happened between the last video and what's happening right now in this video. And I just said in my caption, I just hope Bam Margera is okay. All right. So then I didn't find this. Someone else sent me this picture, and it is of that forum, you know, the one we just talked about. And it says on December 6th, see up here, December 6th, TMZ wrote their article saying Bam had pneumonia, was on a ventilator, C19, on December 9th. But look, 3 days earlier, someone said he had a stroke and is in ICU right now, not doing well. So this says the original poster in that thread said Bam had a stroke and is in such incredibly poor health, he should have been bleep, bleep, bleep years ago, which again, I told y'all, this place is not for the faint of heart. I'm not going on these forums for any reason other than gathering little news, because I just can't help but wonder who would have had this information 3 days before TMZ that somebody had a stroke. It's just a psychic. Y'all think it was just some psychic who just imagined it out of thin air that Bam had a stroke? I don't think so. I think it's somebody who knows that Bam was in the hospital. How could they have known Bam was in intensive care 3 days before TMZ reported it unless they were some type of insider or they had some type of insider information, unless y'all would be more comfortable believing that this person's just a psychic medium, Miss Sister Cleo putting her out of business. And I just want to just be abundantly clear about what caption I put here. I posted it here and I said, more unsubstantiated rumors. Did I say believe this? No. What did I say? Unsubstantiated rumors to throw in the mix. Y'all just take this with a grain of salt. Look what I said. Don't shoot the messenger. Take with a grain of salt. 3 days ago, and 3 days before TMZ broke the pneumonia story, anonymous commenters online stated Bam had suffered a stroke from poor physical health. Nothing has been confirmed. Just updating y'all as info trickles in. And of course, most of y'all know how to act, but some people on this thing were like, oh, ha, 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 surprise witness, getting her news from 4chan. No, I'm not. I'm very, very, very careful with what I say. And I trust that y'all are going to use some good sense to put all this stuff together and not take it as news. I said it was unsubstantiated rumors. Take with a grain of salt. Nothing's confirmed. Just updating y'all, because I don't want to gatekeep information. Somebody knew 3 days before the news reported on it that he was in the ICU. Somebody knew that. I don't know if it was a stroke. I'm just showing y'all different possible things to take into consideration. Okay, more things happened later that day. And just to put y'all in the timeline, all of this, what I just showed y'all, happened the day of and the day after I posted my last video. So stuff has just been happening. And I'm just telling y'all the stuff that's happened. That's it. I'm not telling you what to think. I'm not telling you what to believe. Just telling you what happened. All right. So, of course, we have our old familiar purple weird ass heart from the family on the official Bam Margera Instagram page. It was 2 days ago, day before yesterday. Bam was recently hospitalized. Fortunately, he is now testing negative for C19 and receiving care for pneumonia. He is on the road to recovery and thankfully he will be discharged soon. We ask and thank you for positive prayers. And I said, ambiguous. Some loser skater bro was like, I don't see anything ambiguous at all. It seems clear as day to me. And this is why I can't be around stupid people. Because it ain't clear as damn day, you dumbass, you damn moron. Bam was recently hospitalized for what? Does it say? Does it say? Does it say he was hospitalized for COVID? No, it does not. It's certainly what they want you to imply. What does it say? Bam was recently hospitalized. For what? With what? Because TMZ said that he started testing positive after he got into the hospital. So was he hospitalized for COVID? Was he hospitalized with? I don't know. Let me just remind the morons what ambiguous means. Language open to more than one interpretation. Oh, okay. So it was clear as day. He's probably going to see this, but he's definitely blocked from my Instagram. So he ain't going to see that no more. Bam was recently hospitalized. Could he have been hospitalized for psychosis? Yes. Could he have been hospitalized for perhaps a substance OD? Yes. Could he have been hospitalized for COVID? Yes. Could he have been hospitalized because he couldn't breathe? Yes. Could he have been hospitalized for a heart attack? Yes, because they don't tell us. So indeed, it is ambiguous. And this is why I can't be around stupid people. Y'all get my blood pressure up. I just got to block y'all, honestly, because it is ambiguous. Don't argue with me over shit that I know is true. Okay. It is ambiguous. What was Bam hospitalized for? What was he hospitalized for? Based on this, it could have been any damn thing. But wait, there's more. That was the day before yesterday they posted that. Then there's a whole Vice documentary got released yesterday. But before that, I want to remind y'all who Bam Margera said had the password to his Instagram.
In fact, I can't even post on my Instagram. Everything has to go for Johnny Schiller from Heart Supply because I had to sign a contract because when I was dealing with the lawsuit with Paramount and Jackass, I was posted potentially ruining my lawsuit. So I had to sign a paper saying that only Johnny can clear what goes through my Instagram. So I don't even know my new passcode. I can't control what goes on it.
So Johnny Schiller, the owner of Element Skateboards, who has a business relationship with Bam Margera, who sells Bam Margera branded skateboards under his company, the Heart Supply or Element, who has a financial interest in Bam the brand, is the one who has Bam Margera's Instagram password and login. So yesterday, I'm trying to meal prep and mind my own damn business. Johnny Schiller posts from his Instagram account the following.
I see someone asking the question of how's Bam. We'll see soon. That's actually where I'm headed. So we'll see soon. I'll give you. That was kind of one of the reasons I popped on here was going to see my friend who was sick, and I'm going to visit him and show him my love. So we'll see. I got a bit of a drive in front of me, so that's kind of why I'm killing some time. But with that, health and happiness.
So Johnny Schiller yesterday, the person who has Bam Margera's Instagram login, and Bam said he don't have his own Instagram account login. No, he had to sign over the password, sign it over to Johnny Schiller. Johnny's now on his way yesterday to go visit Bam in the hospital. But hold on, isn't he in ICU? Doesn't he have C19? I don't know what the protocol is these days, but I know people who couldn't even go and see their dying parents because they were testing positive for C19 and they didn't want to get. So now it's kind of like, wait, y'all, none of this is adding up. He has testing positive. No, now he's testing negative according to the family online. But don't you need to wait like 14 days between you know what I mean? Like, whatever happened to all that protocol? Whatever happened to all those rules and shit in place? Listen, I don't really want to get into my opinions on it, but I'm just asking questions. Is it he's positive, he's negative? Now the family's saying he's negative. Now Johnny Schillereff, the one with the Instagram password, is on his way to visit his friend and make sure he's okay. But wait, there's more. Later on that day, they go live on Bam's official Instagram account. And it's very short. So I'm going to actually pull it up here and let's watch it together. All right. So as you can see, Johnny Schillereff pulls up the camera, right? It's Johnny going live. Johnny's the first thing you see here. And it's only like 2 minutes. So let's watch it together. Johnny holding the camera. As you will note, this is Bam Margera's official Instagram. This is Bam Margera's name on the account, but Johnny's holding the phone. Is Bam too stupid to hold a phone? He can't update his own audience. It ain't Johnny's audience. Or is it? Because just the day before that, there was Element Heart Supply skateboards for sale on that Instagram account. Do you see how it's kind of like a conflict of interest? I don't know. That's just my opinion. Well, comment below what you think.
This is Johnny Schillereff, great friends of Bam Margera. I'm here with Bam.
And the person with the login to the Instagram account, according to Bam.
My heart supply.
Just so y'all know, this is not my recording. Someone sent this to me. So the person typing this is not me. I did not catch this live. I was meal prepping.
On its deathbed because I had 4 seizures, and then I bit my tongue on a seizure so hard that it started gushing blood and it got so puffy.
Again, 2 days before this, TMZ was reporting that he was fighting for his life with pneumonia on a ventilator and C19. Now he's basically got Johnny Schillereff sitting on his lap. Don't you think he should be a little bit more concerned about his catching this thing from him? Did he actually have C19? If he did, don't you think it's a little irresponsible of Johnny Schillereff to just be sitting on Bam's lap at this point? Like, Bam, first of all, he does not look good. He does not look healthy. He looks like something's wrong with him. He's swollen. He looks inflamed. He looks sick. But I am happy to see he's not in ICU in a coma on a ventilator.
It wouldn't fit in my mouth anymore. I was walking.
So now we've seen one commenter 3 days before the news reports it say that Bam had a stroke. We see the family say Bam was hospitalized, but they don't tell us what he was hospitalized for. He's testing positive, then he's testing negative for C19. And we have the brother-in-law saying everything TMZ says is a lie. Now we have Bam giving a whole nother story about 4 seizures. What is the truth?
So I went to the fucking hospital only to find out that I have COVID. And
if somebody has COVID, are you going to be sitting in their lap like that? What is Johnny doing?
pneumonia.
Ain't even wearing a mat, nothing.
Now, but here we are, 4 days later, 5 days later, and we're getting, well, I'm not. Bam is being released in minutes. We are waiting, and I'm in a hazmat.
He was on a ventilator 2 days ago, and he's being released in minutes. I'm not a medical professional, but that does come as a surprise to me.
Suit. If Bam is healthy.
Yeah.
So, thanks for your support.
Yeah, so now the shaman has a connecting house with his Iranian buddy Yahya, and he knocked on his door and said, I have news, Yahya, you're gonna have to find a different place to live. And he said, okay, why? He's like, because somebody very important has committed 100 days to 13 ceremonies of mine, and every day hiking up a mountain 5 miles at 5 a.m. every single day. I did it with him for a month once before, and I lost 30 pounds in 20 days. So now I'm going to do it every day he's like, by the time I'm done with you, you're going to look like a Greek statue. Well, that means I'll look like Danny Way then.
All right, so we're checking out of here. Bam's healthy.
Yeah, man.
So Bam said he was going to go stay with a shaman for 100 days and do 13 ceremonies with the shaman. And in addition to that, he was going to be doing 5-mile hikes every single morning at 5 a.m. He'd done it before for a month. He lost 30 pounds and he seems to be excited about doing that. Johnny then is like, oh, okay, haha, we're getting off.
Let's go.
Let's go. Whatever that was about. You know what I mean? Okay. So that happened. And then this video is getting a little bit long, so I'm going to have to make another video. But then while all of that is going on, Vice releases a video on their YouTube channel yesterday. This all happened while I was trying to do my meal prep, which there is a video of that coming as well. Vice releases a video that seems to be a new video about updates about Bam Margera. Let me show it to y'all. And I'm going to do a video of my reaction to this, right? I'm just giving y'all a little bit of the update of like what actually all happened since my last video about Bam. Vice releases this video right here on the top. Bam Margera, jackass skating in the dark side of fame. So it says this episode of Epically Latered first aired in 2017. I'm not going to say this wasn't here yesterday, but I definitely didn't see it yesterday. That could have been a me problem, okay? But in the video itself, there's really no indication that it's old. Now, I did have a couple skater bros come to my Instagram page, and they were acting like I should have just known that this was like old footage because I was kind of saying like, well, here, I'll just show y'all what I said.
I just finished that Bam documentary and whew, I kind of recorded reactions throughout. I'm gonna edit them together and just post it like tomorrow or the next day. But yes, I've seen it. Still kind of processing it, to be honest. I have a lot of thoughts about it, but I probably will just save the thoughts for letting y'all see it on the video just so you can get it all at once. Because even trying to summarize it is just, I don't even know where to even begin. But big takeaways, I'm just curious as to why Vice would have recorded that footage like 4 years ago and decided to only come out with it now. And just generally, it just feels really dark and it feels really sad. I also wish they would have taken a little bit more time to update stuff that's happened since they filmed that 4 years ago, because they're just can't help but wonder why they've obviously been sitting on this footage for like 4 years. I mean, in this documentary filming, Bam said that Nikki was pregnant. Phoenix was born in 2018. So this was like 2018 they filmed this stuff. And so it's like, one, why haven't they come out with this before now? And two, since they waited so long, why didn't they do any updates? They didn't mention the conservatorship. They didn't mention the guardianship. They didn't mention the Florida shuffle. They didn't mention Bam's recent.
So it got cut off, right? Because you can only do a minute and 30 seconds or whatever. But like, look, here's one comment somebody said. Epically Latered is a long-running skate series produced by a genuine man named Patrick that has been around in the skate community since before it blossomed into what it is today, and mostly plays an accurate portrayal of some of the most influential skateboarders, including this one. Whatever is going on with Bam that you're arguing towards has nothing to do with Patrick or his work. Much love, you're a legend, but damn, girl. And I said, that's cool, but nothing you said answers the valid questions I have. And from the comments section, which we'll go look at, many people seem to believe, like I did, that this is current updates about Bam. Not saying it was malicious. Maybe they could put a little effort into explaining some of this for people who haven't kept up with every aspect of Bam's life since 2002. Also, and this is the kicker for me, the timing of this release is not lost on me. Look at what people are saying in these comments. Dude has no idea how many people are on his side. I don't think he understands how lucky he is. I've been in love with Bam skating, and it breaks my heart to see how much he's struggling. So this person, the third top comment, clearly thinks this is right now, right? And I will say, I want to be fully fair here. It does say this episode first aired in 2017, and it is possible it did say that yesterday. I didn't see it, but I don't see everything, and I was very tired and all that. So maybe it did say that. If it did, I just missed it. Oops, my bad. But the question of the timing of this release still is not lost on me. Why is it that this thing is released the same day that Bam's getting out of a hospital, the day after his family's reporting that he's about to get out, 2 days after TMZ's talking about he's on a ventilator, C-19, fighting for his life, ICU? I don't know. I don't know. That's it. Like, people act like I'm trying to say something I'm not trying to say. I'm literally saying I don't know. But I do have a video coming out with reactions to that Epic documentary and all that. What I will say is, it's very interesting to me how much attention that documentary paid to Bam's skateboards and the skate decks. And just the day or two before, there was skateboards for sale on his official Instagram account that he clearly doesn't have access to. It's almost like Johnny Schiller have had to drive to the hospital to log into Bam's Instagram account so that Bam could give a live update, and then they're going to do whatever they're going to do with him. Now, I hope that he is going to go to this shaman. Shaman is kind of like a word that now has come to encompass a lot of traditional spiritual and medicinal practices. So I really don't know anything about this shaman. I don't know anything about it, but I hope it can help Bam. And I hope it's Bam's choice. Because if it is Bam's choice, that is great news, because it means he's actually making the choice now to step out and do something about his own recovery without being forced to. But as I have said 15,000 times in this video, I don't know. All I know is the information that's been made available to the public. And it's been a lot of activity in the last 3 days. I will have a video of me reacting to that Vice documentary coming out very soon. And I'm going to get a little bit more into my commentary and analysis as to why I think the timing of this is all happening exactly right now, because I do have speculations, opinions, and theories that you are welcome to agree with or disagree with. This video is already substantially longer than I wanted it to be, so I'm going to cut this one off here. If you want to keep up with my Bam Margera coverage, if you care to hear my opinion and my speculation on things, do follow. I do have a Bam Margera playlist. Start from the beginning, watch through, and make sure you have your notifications on, because that next video of me reacting to the Vice documentary will be coming out very soon. It'll probably be my next video that I post. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation. Love you, mean it, K, bye.